Hello everyone, my name is Adolfo Reveron and today I'm gonna show you the cave generator tool. My goal when creating this tool was to be able to create something 100% procedural from blocking to final scene in just a few clicks. The references I gathered for creating this are these, which are inspired in the Tomb Raider and God of War game. So I split the controls for the cave generator into four sections: walk path, ropes, tunnel, and rocks. There are 10 different types of rocks that I created with a subtool inside of this project, but I could have created as many as I wished. Every type is controlled with these kind of ramps, with which I can say how many rocks of each type I want to be spawned. In this case, this red, blue, and yellow controls type 1, 2, and 3. And as you can see below, the points representing each type of rock is changing on the fly. In addition to this control, for each type, I can select where I want these points to be spawned. For instance, for type A or maybe B, I have this relative position controller, which basically tells where to spawn these points based on the position of a point. Let me zoom out a bit to have a wider view of the cave, and I'm gonna reset this, and now you can see how's type 1 being spawned across the side of the side wall. I can lower it, raise it, and I can move it from left to right. Now let me collapse this to have a wider view, and then I can switch to showing you the scale and orient and other spawning controls. For instance, I can control the spread of this spawning, as you can see here. I can transform it once I'm happy with the result, transform everything as a block. I can change the scale from a minimum to a maximum. This is just the seed variation, a global scale, and then the minimum and the maximum, for instance. Then there are not uniform scale. What I mean by this is scaling by per axis, X, Y, and Z. So we can have even more variation stretching the rocks in some axes. I can also delete some of them based on a seed and on a threshold. Imagine I want to keep just 20% of them, so I would be moving this to the close to 0.8. Or if I want to keep most of them, I would be doing this. I can turn it off completely if I don't want to get rid of none of any of them, I mean. And then I can also tweak the orientation, as you can see. And for instance, I can change the angle for the X axis, for the Y, and obviously for the Z. And I can control a minimum and a maximum amount. And once I'm happy with this amount for each axis, I can also just change the seed. And I've got this kind of control for every rock. I grouped here uh, types from 5 to 10 just to explore different types of control, but it's exactly the same sliders. So, but it's gonna be much more visible because it controls more types of rocks. So in this case, I'm just playing with the spawning, maybe something like this, and now delete some of them. I want to sorry, this is the seed, delete some of them. I want to remove most of them or keep majority. And again, I can change the relative position from one side to the other or down and up, as you can see. And also the cone, which is this control. If I want a narrow area, I can put the control like this, and then maybe it's more visible the control. Now I'm gonna switch to the walk path controls. So first thing is the slabs, which are not visible here because they are hidden, I guess. I can move them a bit up, and I can just flip them. And yeah, this is basic controls. I can flip the extrusion in case I want it to be upside down. I can control the length of every slab. Smaller, the denser everything is gonna be. We can switch to something really dense, as you can see here, which is too much, I think. And we can also change the thickness of it with different seats. This way, we ensure there are not two slabs with exactly the same extrusion. And we can delete some again if I want to keep half of them with maybe with something like this. Change the seat again. We can tweak the orientation. This is just small bits of randomness added to the orientation of each slab, sorry, in three different axes. In this case, -5 to 3, but it can be much more aggressive. So again, this is for orientation, but there is some translation. This is offsetting the position. And for every control, I can just turn it off if I'm not happy. So everything goes back to a more uniform setup, as you can see. And again, it can be everything move as a block. To the left, right, up, side, and up and down, sorry. Then there are the sides. I call them side A and side B, meaning by this the two sides of the walk path. And we can change the distribution of the elements, the amount of branches or poles, which are those in this case. I can delete some of them. This is the seed, and this is the amount I want to get rid of. If I want to keep most of them, just lower this to here. And I can jitter the poles in the three axes just to add more variation. Scale them. In this case, this is very shy variation between them, but I can change the global scale from 0.6, for instance, to 2. and the difference between the different elements is gonna be bigger, as you see here. And you can check the rope is following and is perfectly attached to the poles, no matter where I place. The tool even supports weird setups or extreme cases like this. And maybe it's a good moment to switch to the ropes to just to show the control with we have there. So of course we've got the radius, the amount of segments, the sides from a minimum from 3 to whatever. And this is a common feature I added to every rope, because we've got ropes in the ceiling as well, which is adding randomness to the bellies. We can add a random value to each part of the rope. I've got full control in the push as well, with a minimum, and this is very too sensitive. Yeah, with a minimum, the maximum, and I can, as you can see here, yeah, I can randomize how much of this effect is being applied. And yeah, now to the side B, yeah, which is this. In this case, I spawned, I think it's 4 different branches I created earlier with a tool similar to the rock generator I talked about earlier. And again, we can delete some of them, change the seed, the distribution, change the amount to something really small amount, or really dense, something like this maybe. I can scale them, make something huge. This is global scale control. I can move everything as a block, like in previous cases. And let me turn this down a bit. And again, I can add small bits of angle variation to each one. From, in this case, it's a minimum of X, and then a maximum. So we've got full control. And if no, we are not happy with the result, we can always control the amount of this effect being applied. Well, in this case, I just did a full on-off, but I can do it progressive. Where else I can? Yeah, let's go to talk to the path. This path is completely procedural again, and it's completely tweakable. I can change the trace from a starting point, maybe this, as you can see, to something like, I don't know, something like this. And it's finding shortest path between one random point of this circle and one random point of this circle. So yeah, we can change the thickness of this path again, something much thinner, as you can see here. Let me lower the dimension for the poles are too big, they are very annoying. Global scale of this, side B, global scale, maybe something really small to let us view the path. And again, I showed you how to switch the thickness, I mean the width, and we can extrude the basement as well, as you can see here, offset it. I created a deeper level of control for the path, uh, which is let me put this back again. And this is a precise control of the rotation and the translation of the path itself. Let me switch to this view, and with this control I can add a couple of anchor points here, for instance, and then with this slider I can start rotating the path. Let me move it to the middle, and now it's affecting, sorry, this one, and now it's affecting this area, as you can see. Not only for the rotation, which can be, as you see, affecting a wider area, but also for the translation in the three axes, x, y, and z. For instance, I'm gonna try to raise this area, maybe here, too much. So you can see maybe a value there. Move it here. Too sensitive. Yeah, here. And maybe a peak here. Something like this. And this is in Y, but we've got the same kind of control in the three axes. As you can see here, I'm gonna try to affect this area. Yeah, only this area, like this. So yeah, that's it. And if we are not happy with this, I can just get rid of it, and this one, and yeah, that's it. And because of everything being procedural, everything is updating. As you can see now, the path is following this new shape we just created. And yeah, I just need to tweak this a bit. This one still needs a bit of adjustment. And yeah, that's for the work path. And now finally I'm gonna talk about the tunnel. So for creating the tunnel, I'm gonna collapse this view, and you can see here this is the final sculpt for the mesh, and everything starts here. Let me show you. Everything starts here, which is basically just a cylinder or a circle extruded along a line, and creating later these sections. I had the idea of my purpose here was to be able to create different areas, and this is one of the rings, just one of the sections, which has been already processed through the sculpting noises I created. And the idea underlying behind all this was to be able to edit different sections. But because I was running out of time, I just applied the same effect to everything, with the result of having these nice boundaries here in here. You might be wondering what's this weird look of the mesh, and the reason why is I applied I created a tool to delete the back faces, because everything has been designed to shoot to make the shots from here. So in order to create a bit more optimized geometry, I just created a tool which deleted back face areas based on a radius. That's that's the reason for the weird view. So everything has been designed to be created from here. And finally, everything, as I told you earlier, is completely procedural. So if I wanted to create um, some a cave which is longer, shorter, with less detail, more detail, um, maybe with a more regular shape like this, everything is completely tweakable. So I can edit this basic shape, and with all these sliders and parameters here, and define again how many sections I want. Maybe I just want to have less, something like this. I want just 4 or 5 of them, and even spacing is something I can tweak again. So plenty of control, as you can see. And once I'm happy with this, I would be processing everything with the ball bobs to achieve rings like this one. And if I were editing the noises, I would have a different result. And I forgot to mention that it's possible to have even a more aggressive change like this. If I want to have a cave shaped like this. So those are, I'm going to show you the final results, which are those. Hope you enjoyed the video. And as I showed you, everything you're watching here is just a few minutes of tweaking the sliders and getting different setups. So finally, these are the renders for some of the elements, like the trees. This is a close up, and it's another shot. Everything is procedural, including the geometry and the materials, and yeah, this is for the rocks. This is just a few of them, a few tests. So thank you for watching, guys, and bye bye.